Welcome back to this World Cup special here on All in the Game. Let's take a look at how the bowlers are in the playing 11. Now, Sreesanth has not been included in the playing 11 against England, and Piyush Chawla has taken his place. In fact, let's hear what Dhoni had to say at the toss at why Piyush has been included in this playing 11 for India.
What is your team news?
Well, Ashish is, he got fit, but, we chose the other option. We are playing with two seamers and one part-timer and two proper spinners.
The fact that you're playing the leg spinner, Chawla, is that about the pitch or the fact that you think England don't play spin well?
I think it's a combination of both because, we feel if you have a good leg spinner, who can bowl well, then he's a definite big wicket-taking option because if you see our fast bowler, they are not real quick bowlers, so, it gets a bit difficult in the middle overs or the late middle overs, to get wickets unless the batsmen, they look to go after them.
Well, we heard it from the captain himself, MS Dhoni. What do you think his strategy is right now, and how you think he's going to utilize it really on the field?
Yeah, I think it was expected. Sreesanth didn't have a very good game first up, so
absolutely,
I'd
agree with that.
Yeah, I thought it would be Ashwin or Piyush Chawla. They've gone for Piyush Chawla because he's a leg spinner, and England don't have a great history of playing spin too well. Piyush has had very good success against Peterson. He's got him, I think, 2-3 times in the series in England. So I think it's a good move, and a leg spinner is very handy to have in the side. So it's a great move. I think Piyush will play a big role in this game.
And Mr. Ram, Piyush has been exposed already in terms of being a leg cutter right now versus Australia in the first warm-up game. So right now, do you think that he's going to be the one that's going to be destructive in terms of taking those wickets?
He could be a partnership breaker. He's a very attacking bowler, and he's not afraid to experiment. So I think he's a very good option. He's also a very good fielder. So I think he's a good inclusion overall.
Srinath, also Harbhajan and Piyush together, that kind of combination. Do you think that India would definitely have the perfect set together?
Yeah, well, certainly because Dhoni and his men had the experience of playing in Bengaluru in the practice game, where the wicket had some bounce to start with, and then the spinners played a major role. And we saw Piyush Chawla, Ashwin and Harbhajan really enjoying bowling on that track. So now Dhoni having won the toss, India batting first, I think Piyush Chawla will be a handful. And having known the strength of Englishmen against the spinners, I think Harbhajan and Piyush Chawla will certainly provide a lot of good work for Dhoni in the second half.
Well, we'll now take a look at what the assets are really in terms of the English squad for themselves. We put together a list of the top 5 English batsmen at the World Cup. In fact, the entire top order of the Englishmen form the powerhouse of the team quite literally. First up is Kevin Pietersen, who can spoil the opposition's party if he gets going. Now in Bell, Andrew Strauss and Paul Collingwood provide the much needed strength in the middle order, and Jonathan Trott also can anchor the innings and possess more destructive options. So that's Kevin Pietersen, Ian Bell, Andrew Strauss and Paul Collingwood and Jonathan Trott as well. So really, now do you think that the entire top order and middle order will collapse if India can get those wickets, and thereafter do you think their tail enders can probably pull through for them?
I think Peterson's a danger man. He is a match winner for them. So I think it's very important we get Pietersen out early. The others have been in good form. Trott had a great Ashes series. He did well in Australia. So Collingwood has not been the best form, but he is slowly coming back to form. So they are a formidable batting lineup, no doubt about that. But like I said, the first game they just edged past Netherlands, and Indian conference, the Indians are playing really well. So I think India do have the upper hand, but like I said, they have a good batting lineup, and Pietersen is the danger man for them. We have to get him out early.
The one comparison between these two squads is the fact that their batting order is solid and intact, whereas fielding and bowling, of course, is a little unstable from both sides. So, Mr. Ram, really at this point, do you think that India has a one-up, even though both of them can be compared in the same way in terms of batting order?
Well, I think India has the edge because India has a more powerful batting lineup. And you have a finisher like Yusuf Pathan on the side, which England lack. For that reason, I don't agree with this idea of Pietersen opening the innings, because he could be explosive later on. So I think India still has the edge in batting. And England, I think overall is a better fielding side, though they fielded so badly in the last game.
All right. Would you disagree with that, Mr. Srinath, at this point?
Not really. I mean, as I said, it was a one-off day for England in the field against Netherlands. But obviously, there are far more I wouldn't say superior, maybe slightly better than the Indian fielding side. Of course, we've got some exceptional fielders in the Indian team like Yuvraj Singh, Virat Kohli and Suresh Raina. But as he said, the Indian batting is far more rounded. We have more individual match winners in the forms of Sehwag, Tendulkar, we've got Yuvraj Singh, Virat Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Whereas England is far too more reliant against one dasher like Kevin Peterson. It could be Jonathan Trott, who's in good form, or maybe Matt Pryor towards the end. Let's not discount the experience of Collingwood. But when you look on the paper regarding the roundedness of the batting, I think India has a far more powerful batting side. And even in the bowling department, the experience of Zahir Khan, along with Harbhajan Singh as a top spinner, and we've got Piyush Chawla. I think maybe fielding is one area, maybe India could be 10% down than England, but otherwise they are far more superior than England on paper.
All right, let's just hope Sachin and Sehwag kick in this time around, considering it's a big match, and of course definitely have to prove a point here. But really with this big match today, England versus India, it will be an encounter that might just go down to the wire at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, a venue where a score of 250 plus have never been chased in a World Cup match. So let's take a look at the history.
It's going to be a high-octane clash at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Both India and England have beaten minnows in their opening encounter, yet their real test lies today. India, however, start out as favourites considering the home advantage and that they've already beaten Australia in this very ground in the warm-up match. Just ahead of the World Cup, both teams were engaged in a fierce showdown. India's tour of South Africa turned out to be quite an extravaganza, giving the Proteas a run for their money. South Africa, though, emerged at the top, beating India 3-2. England, though, showed no signs of being a competitive side, who were thrashed comprehensively 6-1 by Australia. One common factor which will be a worry for both sides is the fielding. While Netherlands managed to score a mammoth 292 against England, Indians too showed many signs of weakness in their fielding department. The minnows, Bangladesh, managed to notch up a 283 against the men in blue in last week's face-off. So, will we witness amendments from both the teams in this match? Let's wait and watch. In Chennai, with Krishnamurthy, Sindhuja for Ndtv Hindu.
Well, India's batsmen have been fairly consistent against all attacks, but many an expert would agree that it's India's bowling combination that will remain a worry. But with the weatherman, of course, throwing in a Chinaman by forecasting rains, this is one face-off that is excitement unlimited. And this is a special report on that. Picking the final 11, this is one call where Dhoni and co would have to tread carefully. What makes it even more of a predicament is the deep cloud cover over Bangalore. Hoping that it's an uninterrupted full game, then we might see a 3-1 bowling combination, avoiding the 2 spinners and 2 seamers combo.
If you play with just 2 seamers and the rest spinners, your bowling becomes quite similar. Of course, you have the variation when it comes to the spin department. But if you're playing with 3 seamers and the rest spinners, what we have seen is our part-timers can also do a job.
No news of Nehra's back condition yet, but if Srishant plays, then he will have to bowl with far greater control, conceding lesser runs than he did versus Bangladesh. Munaf and Zak have bowled very well, wicket to wicket, making it a frustrating stint for the batsmen. In order to utilise the middle overs, the spinners should be the perfect pitch. Ideally, Harbhajan would be the leading man from the front, with Chawla as the second spinner for the variation he provides. A final 11 pick that could make or break India's game. In Chennai, Natasha for Ndtv Hindu. Clearly there, a big update from, of course, the toss where the captain himself stated that Srishant is not going to play this playing 11 and also Chawla will be taking his place. So that combination is definitely crucial at this point, considering the fact that it's the bowling combination that's been a worry right from the beginning. So do you think we are intact? Ram?
Yeah, we have a good attack in the circumstances with Srishant not showing the best form. But then the weather will have a role to play and the leg spinner will find it a bit difficult if the weather interferes. Gripping the ball and, maintaining accuracy would be a problem. So.
All right, we'll now take a look at, of course, our quote of the day by Jeffrey Boycott. Now, dropping catches, not going for catches, indifferent throwing into the keeper, and at times woeful bowling to their field settings is a recipe that will enable the Indian batsmen to commit mayhem. So that's Jeffrey Boycott himself, of course, telling us what exactly the English have to do to lose this game, quite frankly. So how exactly do the three of you feel that the English could possibly muck up their game today versus the Indians, of course?
Well, Jeffrey has always been a great critic of the England side, not the one to appreciate what England does well. But anyway, England, I think, had one of those bad days on the field against Netherlands, but they're not a side which would certainly look to repeat these things time and again. And they are not, again, one of those better fielding sides in world cricket. But certainly England would try to put their best playing 11 on the field and ensure they're going to give India a run for the money in this game.